thank everybody for coming here. I totally appreciate it. Something about me that maybe some of you know, some of you don't know. I am a functional diagnostic nutritionist and a certified metabolic typing advisor. I got into nutrition probably really heavily about 4 years ago, and the reason for that are my story. So what's my story? Everybody has a story on why they got into something usually. And 6 years ago, we had a fitness center about 3 doors down, and we had a nutritionist there, Corrine. Shelly knows her. I don't know if you've ever met Corrine. And I approached Corrine and I said, hey, you know, I was 235 at the time. And here I'm a trainer. I think I'm eating right. But I'm like, you know, it'd be great to have a perspective of a nutritionist. So she goes, well, that'd be great. The best way that I can help you is to do a blood test. I said, perfect. I'll do a blood test. She got the results. We sat down. She goes, Kevin, you know, it says here that you're not digesting protein in food really efficiently. You know, what do you know, tell me something, you know, something about your past. You know, so what are you doing? You know, like, do you have any concerns or any, you know, I said, well, I've had acid reflux for 15 years. So I've been taking antacids like for 15 years straight. She goes, that makes sense. So, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, kind of like not really sure what she's getting at, but she's like, you've taught your body how to not digest food. You know, you're lowering your stomach acid, and now the food that you're eating is not getting completely digested, and all these things are arising. She's like, do you have any other concerns? I'm like, well, you know, I'm 35 and I get acne. You know, I don't know what that's about. She goes, well, you know, food is now becoming toxin to your body, and it's coming out of your skin, which is acne. Okay, you're probably eating the wrong foods. I was also bloated all the time, and I also had acid reflux, and I had a lot of gas. Not like I want to tell you guys those personal things, but that's what I was dealing with. And she goes, oh, perfect, okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a supplement called betaine HCl. I'm not saying that everybody needs this, but I did at the time. So I had to stimulate acid production in my gut because I've taught my body how to shut off acid production. Okay, so I was 235 at that time. Within 3 months, I lost 20 pounds by taking one supplement with every meal because I was stimulating, you know, the acid production, the digestion, and no more gas, no more bloating, and no more acid reflux. So you can imagine my thoughts at first. You know, she was telling me, here, take something that's going to stimulate acid. At first I was like, I don't think so. I have enough acid. Every day I have heartburn. It really, if you've ever had it, definitely sucks. So this is what kind of got me into the whole thing. You know, here, you know, I'm not saying doctors are bad, but sometimes they may be hiding, putting a Band-Aid on the symptom instead of finding the root cause of my issue. And they were giving me, you know, Prilosec and Zantac and everything under the sun to stop acid, but unfortunately I was doing the exact opposite of what I should be doing. So I'm like, you know, I know my clients need this kind of help. I know I need to learn about this specifically and really get down to the nitty-gritty of nutrition. So I took these courses, and here I am today, and this has become my new passion. I love it. And so here are my 5 secrets that I feel are very beneficial. If you follow half of them, you're going to see good results. And to tell you the truth, there's more than 5 secrets here. If you really look at some of the things I'm going to say, there's a lot of secrets that a lot of people don't know about. When I talk to people, they just don't put 2 and 2 together, and we're kind of, you know, there's so many misconceptions out there. So hopefully I can, this bug is like, you know, that's going to be on video too. It's a little bug anyway. It's in my ear. So the first one is low-calorie, low-fat diets don't work. Okay, a little testimony here. But a month ago, a client came to me. She was putting on weight and couldn't figure it out because she was eating, after I looked at her food log, about 800 calories a day. Okay? And she was eating, you know, small, you know, a couple fruit in the morning, very minimal protein and very minimal fat. And I was saying, well, you know, Susie, we definitely got to increase these ratios. We got to get more protein, more fat in your diet, and actually give you more calories. Because if you're on a restrictive calorie diet, your body is going to hold on to whatever you're eating, okay? Because you're in starvation mode. Your body thinks you're in starvation mode. It eats. It's going to hold on to whatever you're doing. And ratios are so important because we want to have those ratios of carbs and protein and fat specifically for you, because if you're just eating sugar and fruits, I mean, fruits are great, but if you're not getting that balance, we're going to have a big surge of insulin. And I hear this all the time. I'm eating all these carbs. It's a carb loading society. And that's going to stimulate a lot of insulin. Insulin's that hormone that needs to regulate your sugar, but it also stores that extra sugar as fat. Okay? So there's another hormone called glucagon. You guys ever hear of glucagon? Perfect, great. Okay, so insulin is that hormone that stores fat. Glucagon is that hormone that burns fat. So I don't know about you, but I'd rather be stimulating a lot of glucagon. And how do you stimulate glucagon? Exercise is one of the best ways to do it because we're burning that sugar. When your body is low in sugar, doesn't have enough energy, it goes into your fat stores and turns that fat into sugar. That's what that hormone does. Okay? So very important two hormones there. With the eating part, I get every client on the elimination diet. Has anybody heard about the elimination diet? I know you have. You're doing my clients there. So there's a whole bunch of them out there on the internet. You can research them. If you want some more information from me, that's fine. But the elimination diet pretty much is going to be eliminating all wheat, all dairy, and all soy out of your diet for 30 days. Then what we do is we reintroduce those foods one at a time per week and see what happens. The results that I have seen in the past 2 years with clients, I can't even, Karen can probably attest to this. I mean, just the things, the weight loss, the energy, it is amazing. And so many people, well, where do I get my dairy from, or where did this? There's so many other options out there, but you got to understand that these foods that we're eliminating are very inflammatory in the gut, okay? If you have an inflammation going on in the gut, if you're eating these harmful foods, weight loss is impossible, okay? And you're creating this, a dysbiosis. A dysbiosis is a function of good bacteria to bad bacteria. And if we're eating the wrong foods, we're creating a bad environment for digestion, okay? So you really have to be aware of that. The elimination diet is the #1 tool that I probably use to really help somebody get in tune with their body. Some of the things that they'll see once they introduce those foods back in, headaches. I've had a lady lose 12 pounds in a month, okay, following just the elimination diet. She went back on wheat, okay, it's actually gluten is the thing I'm really worried about. She put on 3 pounds in a day. She goes, obviously, Kevin, this is not the right food for me. And I was like, it's so happy that they make sense of that, because making sense of it is so powerful, because now you always have that tool. If I'm going to have carbs, which you're going to have them every once in a while, but pizza here and there, some bread, but understand what it's doing to your digestive tract. That gluten is so hard to digest. And that's kind of like a buzzword right now. I'm sure all of you have heard of gluten, right? Right? And now there's non-gluten foods out there, which is becoming a big industry. Unfortunately, those foods aren't that much better, but they don't have the gluten, which is something that I'm really trying to